Thanks everyone. I know that everyone's tired after a long day of working. I will try to make it like really basic. That's why 101. Let's talk about it. But first, let me present myself. I'm Rubens Pinheiro Gonçalves Cavalcante, pretty long name, right? Yeah. Brazilian, living in Berlin for 3 years, still rookie. It's complicated living in the winter here. So I'm a front-end engineer at OLX. Normally people don't know OLX here, but it's a classified site. We act on several countries like South America and here in Europe. I started with JavaScript in 2007, so I'm quite an old person already. And I'm always trying to learn something new. This is the basic for any JavaScript developer, right? Yeah, so in the last year, there was the ReactConf that was really awesome, and I was there ultra happy. So if you guys want, please, guys and girls, please go there this year. It's a really awesome event. Okay, let's get started. What is this? And why should I use monorepos? So, going back in the early 2000s, we have this like thing about, okay, we have a big site here, we have several teams, and we want to share some parts of logic, components, etc. It was really hard to do so. So basically, that's how it happened. Yeah, very 2000, right? Yeah, boom. Yeah, sure, here is it. Get out the JS files. And you ask me, this doesn't happen anymore, right? Together with the memes, the weird gradient, Comic Sans, etc. Well, it happens, but in other ways. Normally, now we in big companies, we have these web applications that we build and send to a S3 bucket if it's a spa. We send to a server Amazon if you like server-side handling. You use Gatsby, Next.js, whatever. And you have several small directories with your domain stuff. Let's say you want to share like that Yahoo site, and you build that like this the app. There's the SDK for all the API calls, logic, the UI components, everything ultra modern. React, like design patterns, everything ultra nice, right? Okay, so, okay, I need to share with other teams parts of my application. How can I do that? Oh, easy, just create new repositories. I just remove that directories from within my big project and make them like node packages. And then I just make a CI for them, ship them to NPM or like internal NPM repository like Artifactory, etc. And we just link. So my app that's like relies on the UI and the SDK is still surviving. Easy, right? Awesome. But then, okay, I compile my components for per country, so already shipped together with the internationalization. And there is also like some configuration for the SDK, like in the staging server, have a different URL, production, local. There is some internal component, internal dependencies here. What should I do? And then you create new repositories. Okay, I'm going to create more 2 repositories here. I'm not going to publish them, of course. They are internal stuff. Use it at compilation time. I think I'm pretty safe, right? Well, kind of. Now you have 4 repositories that you need to sync all the dependencies. You need to maintain them, maintain all different CIs, etc., etc. And this is going to be a big headache. Then you find out inside your computer, you have 4 VS Codes open, 5 VS Code open, and then you have a small patch version on Node.js that's different from each project, and Node.js is compiled, it's a binary, and it breaks because of the header, everything is blow up, and oh, okay, now I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's too much complication, right? Just to share the code. And then you go back in the 2000, like, yeah, that guys were right. I would just copy these files, send as a zip, and done. Zips also can hold for like months, but then all the team is going to give you too much trouble, like asking for updates, etc., etc. So how we have this setup that I showed, but without all this headache. So monoliths, basically that something that we do in the front end today is not wrong, and it's not like bad to do monoliths. If you do them right, it's totally okay. But with monorepos is like a more elegant way to split your code in domains and even share parts of your application. So I want to have that setup, but everything together in the same repository. I still have like some private package here, but what I want to share to other teams, it can be internal, like internal open source, like inside your company, you sharing components, UI, etc. Or even like normal open source, you're publishing to NPM, etc. It doesn't matter. I want to have this nice setup here. And like a single configuration for CI, like so parts of my application go to NPM, parts go to AWS. So we're going to have like a help of two small tools here. First is Yarn. So who doesn't use Yarn? It's basically a tool that uses NPM repositories, and it's also a package manager made by Facebook. And we're going to have another tool called Lerna. This guy here is going to organize all this stuff for you, like a really simple way. Let's see. Okay. We're going to use for the monorepos Yarn workspace. It's already pre-built and shipped into Yarn right now. Some months before you had to enable a flag. That's like it was experimentation, but now it's already production, the last version of Yarn. If you see like you creating like that setup with multiple packages inside your repository, you're going to find out that each of that package have a package JSON. And when you install, we still had like that problem of several node modules like spread around your project and bloating up it and maybe causing some problems. So with Yarn workspace, it's super simple to enable it. You create the root package JSON in the top level above all your package directories, and just set it the workspace pointing to where your packages are. It's an array, so you can like several directories like this, but normally you're going just to have one. So you can have like the UI config or whatever package here, the same here. And when you install it, there is no node modules created here. Actually, there is only for binaries. If you like your application is using some binary like node says, it's going to create a small node module here and you open. There's only binaries compiled specifically to that project. So this frees us from that problem of node says different version compilations. So it's ultra nice. Okay, Yarn is taking care of all dependency management for me, right? Yes, but now I need to take care of the dependency tree, because when you have this application and you split in several domains, you're going to have an order of dependency here. Like I have my web page on the bottom, and top of this tree, you're going to have the SDK, and you're going to have your UI components, and they need to be compiled successfully so you can compile your own application. It's just like using a third-party dependency like React. So you need to have React installed to make your app compile. So Lerna, it's able to find out all this dependency tree and trigger NPM scripts out at once. For instance, in the Yahoo, we have this SDK that's built with TypeScript, So it's going to trigger in the start in the development mode, the TypeScript compiling in watch mode, and he knows that in the same level of dependency tree you have UI. These two here have no dependency whatsoever. So this is just made with simple JavaScript with Webpack. It's going to trigger Webpack in watch mode, so any change you're doing your UI components is be recompiled, but the app itself is going to idle. Lerna idles like hold the app start the event npm script because he knows he depends on both SDK and UI. This you can just simply describe in the package.json of app itself, depending on UI and SDK. You can read the package.json of them. Then, if everything gets success, he finally triggers, in this case, the app is going to be the Webpack dev server, and it's going to run up. So you can see like it's the same script, the very same script, but each of them acts behaves in a different way, like triggers a different binary. Okay, ultra nice. As Lerna also helps you on upgrading versions. So if you like, okay, I want to release a new version of this guy and this guy, he knows how to raise the version of everyone that depends on them, and not only the both that you're going to publish to NPM repository. So it's also like orchestrates the publication part for you. Okay, so you're saying about a lot of packages and splitting the code, etc. How can I like spot what is a package inside my application, so I can like build the monorepo in the right way? It's all about the number of dependencies. So there's 3 steps. First one is like how much my users are going to pay for it. Doesn't matter if like your project's open source, so it's like user like is using React in your library, or is an internal open source, like inside the company, someone wants to install your components. I always have like, it's about gut feeling, but I always have like these degrees of, okay, there's your package here. Oh, no dependency whatsoever. Awesome, I'm just going to install it and use it directly. And then one dependency like the UI, okay, React, it's okay, I install your UI library together with React. I already use this on my web app, so it's okay. And then you go, okay, Lodash. I was avoiding to use Lodash on my web app because I want to make it better, like lean. No. Okay, I'm going to install Lodash just to use your package. And then jQuery, really? 2019. Yeah, I always joke with my colleague, Tomas Lacombe. He's the jQuery. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. I always joke with him, man, really, jQuery. We're 2019 guy, man. Anyway, you install jQuery just to use the library. And then, wait, there are RxJS. And you already like this, man, no way. Even if it's inside the company between teams, then you need to escalate this because, man, I'm not using a library. It's going to be like bloating or application or team application. Don't do that. So even if this is not open source, like if this is open source, for sure I'm not installing. I think that anyone here also is not installing like this. The first one is the vendor lock-in. You're like avoiding to use Lodash, but someone is forcing you to use Lodash just to use the library. So, and sometimes they even like put this in a shady way. They don't put as a pure dependency. They put as a dependency that goes in the bundle of the package, and is even worse. Because if you use Lodash and the team that's providing this also uses, you're going to have 2 Lodash in your application. Nice, right? So, the step 2. How wide is the scope domain of my code? As we saw like in that example, we can like split the code in some domains, like the person, the developer was wanting to use the search bar. So for the search bar, you need to have some API calls, some logic involved, some business rules, but also the components. So this is quite good examples, like just building the Yahoo SDK, where you have the basically vanilla JavaScript. Remember, like it was using TypeScript. TypeScript compiles to JavaScript. So the distribution files is just vanilla. And the UI. Also, the distribution file is going to be vanilla, but dependent on React. But one dependence is pretty okay. It's already using React. Nice. But if you have like entire feature, okay, I want to share you the homepage. Let's say you want to use the search bar. I'm going to provide you the homepage. Then you're going to basically depend on the entire site dependencies. Like one page is almost like the entire app like itself. So it's going to be ultra bloated, and we're going to fall on that mistake of having too much peer dependencies. So avoid like a slice like this, prefer more lean domains like this. Okay, the last step 3, how much independent your code is. If you check the package like organization there and everything, you see that they are just common Node.js packages, right? So if they are common Node.js packages, I can basically just run all the scripts without using Lerna on the top level. I just go like cd SDK or UI, and then run directly all the npm scripts that I want, right? npm install, start the storybook, start the development mode, the build, publish, etc. So if you do something like this, it should work. So sometimes don't work, but why don't work? UI may be like requiring some SDK source code, not the distribution file. Like instead of getting from the dist, it's getting from the src directly. And then when you move out, it's going to break. Also, some scripts, some dependencies may be missing. So as we have the root node modules, npm and yarn itself, they not only them, but TypeScript and Webpack, they are able to find even if it's not listed on the package JSON. Some of them I think break. I don't know if TypeScript breaks, but I think Webpack works fine. And for instance, in UI, just forgot to add a React as a peer dependency. Then you moved out, and then it breaks because you don't have access to React anymore. So your package should be independent, should be like a common Node.js package. Okay, this leads us to how to set up the Node packages. My point of view, when you're doing a monorepo, this is the common scenario. Like you have your UI package, for instance, and you have like the peer dependency React. So whenever he's using it, needs to install at least the 16H to make it happen. And you have your web app, like the Yahoo, their website. That's like directly install dependencies, React, React Zone, and several others. But when you have like this intersection between your subpackage dependencies, it's quite nice to do something like this. Just bubble up to the root package JSON, out the intersection between them. Why that? It's way more simple to synchronize the versions. So as here I'm just requiring 16 or more, or whatever, I don't even touch this anymore. So it's closed for modification. You can just get here and put 16.9, that you're sure that all your subpackages are going to use 16.9. Easy. So find the intersection between them, bubble up to the root package JSON. The same one that we put to enable the workspace. Just use that one. So wrapping up, there's a lot of stuff for today, right? You need to remember that it's quite nice, sounds ultra like high tech. I'm doing monorepo, man. Really, it's awesome. But then you have a scenario that you don't share code at all. All your subpackages are private. And okay, it's like helps you out in splitting your domains like rightly, and helps you out with modularizing your code. But it's too much complication for something that you're not going to use it, right? So have in mind that monorepos are really nice structure, architecture, but it adds more complexity on top of your stack. So if you don't want to share code, maybe it's not the solution for you. Oh, sorry. Question I was already skipping. No questions. Bye.